Hello, everybody. I'm trying out so much new stuff tonight. It's not even funny. I've got a camera, I've got a halo light right there, and I've got a new microphone finally. It's hopefully not very crackly. Okay, and then I can hear myself, so that's great. So I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Welcome. Got some fun stuff tonight. And let's see, I see a lot of y'all joining on. Fantastic. Welcome, Rosie, new to the group. Got a lot of new people. I'm blind, so I have to get close. See if there's any questions. Okay, Brenda. Well, you can rewatch it at any time, so have fun with those babies. They're the best. Wow, we got a bunch of people from everywhere. Whew. Texas. Everywhere. Thanks, Renee. Sounds like Santa was good to me. No, Lynn, I've actually had a lot of this stuff. I just didn't know how to use it until I went to go visit my BFF, Hope, and she explained a lot to me, helped me out tremendously. And now it's going to be a little bit more somewhat professional, not really, but kind of. It's just going to look a lot better and sound a lot better. And the other thing is I'm not dragging my what's that thing called? It's right here, tripod around. So it's a lot easier so far. Ooh, from Wales. Hey, yeah, y'all don't even know. All you people who have joined from the UK, that's like my dream. That is my bucket list #1 place to be and go visit because apparently my lineage is from there and I'm a huge, 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 huge dorky history buff of Tudor history. So I really want to go visit, see all the castles and all that. And so yeah, kind of silly, but so thank you all so much for joining. And I know we got some people from Scotland and hey, yeah, it's just been y'all have blown my mind. It's so amazing. Hi, Susie from the UK, from hey Gail from Hawaii. I'm not good at this, but that's another place I wanted to visit. My best friend Hope got to go visit a couple years ago, and I was so jealous. And I really want to go out there too because it's just so gorgeous. But I do live in one of the most beautiful areas in the world, I think. I live in North Florida, which is basically South Georgia. And so we have trees and hills and red clay, and it's just gorgeous. So, all right, well, got quite a few people on, so I guess we can get started. Just let me know if something weird happens with the sound or anything, because again, this is new. I need your help. So let's see. Oh, that's the other thing. I have to stop saying so much. So I almost caught myself on the giveaway video. I was like, did I say that 413 times? I must have. So I must have. So I want to get away from that. I'm trying really hard right now. So, yeah. I did it again. Yeah, Janet, there is no snow here in Tallahassee. It did get cold. We had a big rain yesterday, but it did get cooler. Janet, I went to lunch with my niece or one of my nieces today, and they put us out on the porch, and I was like, "It's too cold. Can you bring us in?" and set us by a big old heater in Florida. We're sissies here in Florida. We don't like the cold. Janet, you're so funny. Y'all always. I hope y'all are having fun stitching. Okay. All right. Renee, I think only 412. Okay, well, okay, 412, not 413 SOs. Darlington, UK. That just sounds very pretty, just like Darling. Okay, let's get started. Yay. I just wanted to make sure everyone could get signed on and see what we got going here. Okay. Well, welcome. If this is your first time visiting us for our Sunday Facebook Live, welcome. I do this every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And what I like to do is go over certain aspects of Baby Lock machines. Now, let me before you leave, if you don't have one, let's talk about that. I do a lot of work on the Baby Lock machines because I am a Baby Lock educator. However, if you have a Brother machine, this will work for you. Now, if you have a different brand, a Bernina, a Viking, anything like that, don't worry about it. Just watch, because you still can learn something, especially when I'm using what software we have on our Baby Lock machines and Baby Lock / Brother machines. You could quite possibly, I'm not going to say definitely, but you could quite possibly, if you have an embroidery software, recreate some of the things that we do in here. So give us a try, don't leave yet, and just see what we do here. This group, to me, is the best group out there because we definitely support being kind and sharing and really do love each other. I've been so lucky with this group. Also, what you all saw earlier this week is that we're doing a huge giveaway with Zandra Shaw. And I'll talk about that in a minute. If you're new and you haven't heard about that, I'm going to walk through the steps. I'm going to cough, guys. Got a little tickle. I'm going to show you how to enter that. I know I had some questions earlier today about how do I enter that, and I'm going to show you. Let's see. Over the past week, we gained a ton of new members, and I'm so thankful for that. And I'm going to cough again. Let me get a drink. Let's try this again. So over the past week and a half, we gained so many new members. And when I started this group, every 250 members, what we do is we do a giveaway. Well, when we were at 980 members, I was like, okay, guys, we're almost there. You know, we're about to do another giveaway. And it felt like overnight I had 1,200 members. So you guys took us way, way beyond. So we are going to do a separate giveaway from the Zandra Shaw giveaway. But I want to get through the Zandra Shaw giveaway first. And then next Sunday, I will announce the 1,000 member giveaway. So yay, and show you what I've got for you and all that. So basically, it's like 2 giveaways in 2 weeks. I mean, how cool is that? So yeah, that's so exciting. Now let's get back to the Zandra Shaw giveaway. If you didn't see the video earlier this week about the Zandra Shaw giveaway, basically what it is Zandra Shaw is going to be giving away 3 fantastic prizes for our group members. And what they are is, the first one is a year membership. The grand prize is a year membership to her Hoop Fun Club. It's amazing. I've been lucky enough to be playing with that, and it is so much fun. The second and third prize are one of her amazing embroidery collections. They're both patches. One is a butterfly patch collection. There's, I believe, 18 to 20 designs, and probably for the other one. And the second collection is a cool retro flower patch design. But remember, if they're patches, it doesn't matter. You can still embroider them out regularly as you would for something else. So it's adorable. So, but I want to show you how to get to the sign up. And it's going to be on here on this group. If you haven't signed up already, there's almost 300 signups already. So let's see, I said SO. Let me see here. So I'm going to go to this key here and go to Facebook. Okay. All right. Now what you're going to see is my Facebook. I'm going to go find my groups. I should already had our group pulled up, but I don't. Okay. Now what you'll see on the screen here is Facebook. I am inside the Forever BB Louise Sewing at the Beehive right here. And no matter if you're on a iPhone, a tablet, or even just your computer, you're going to scroll down. Just keep scrolling, and this is what you're going to look for. And you're inside of the group. And you're just going to keep scrolling. Sometimes it's hard to find. It's okay. Just keep scrolling. Oh, that's cute. And let's see if I can find it now. Did I pass it? Aha, here we go. Okay, you're going to scroll until you're going to see this announcement right here. And it was announced on January 1st. This is our New Year's giveaway. And you will see it says Hoop Fun Club giveaway right here. And you're going to read this. And basically what it's going to say, hey, do you want to join or do you want to be added into this giveaway? To enter, all you have to do is comment below on what is your one wish for 2021. And I swear, you guys had, I was like bawling the first night. Y'all are so sweet and y'all just want so much good stuff to happen out there. Now, all you have to do is come down here in the comments and type whatever you want and then hit enter, and you are now entered into the group, or excuse me, not the group, into the giveaway. It's that easy. So you're just going to scroll down until you find this post. And I made sure that was big right here so you could really see that. So Hoop Fun Club giveaway. Now, after that, we're going to close the comments down on Tuesday evening at 12 p.m. And then on Wednesday, January the 6th at 7 p.m., we're going to pick the winners. How exciting! Yay! I'm so excited. And if Zandra's on here, Zandra, again, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. All right, so let me go back. Oh, I do this. I'm still learning it. There we go. I do that button. Okay, cool. I got that out of the way. I got our 1,000 member out of the way. And let's talk about a couple other things that I'm going to be doing. We had such great success with the In the Hoop Bowl Cozy class, and that was a pay class you could take through me, that I decided to do another class. So I'm thinking about doing that later on this month, and let me grab it. Let me show you. I love these. These are so cute, and I see them out there all around. They're great for babies' rooms, for kids' rooms, or really for anything. And I thought, well, hey, I have IQ Designer on my baby lock. Why can't I design it in the hoop myself? So I did. So I want to do a little class on door hangers. Let me come back here. This whole thing was designed in the machine using IQ Designer. And if you're a brother owner, in my design center. So if there's interest, I would love to do this as a class. And let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. I got to come here. So what we have is we designed the whole thing in the hoop, the bunny rabbit. And I'm showing you that because this kind of goes along with the lesson we're doing today with shapes. And I designed the whole thing. Now you can see I used the fills in the bunny and his ears, and even the fill right here. There you go. You can see it. The fill on the background. And then I designed the whole shape, the whole everything. So if there's any interest, I want to teach this because I think this would be really fun. And I have one in my head that is hysterical, and it reminds me of my friend Hope that I'm going to make, and I'll post a picture of that later. So if you're interested in this, I'm thinking about doing this on, I have to grab my book. It'll be a Saturday and we're going to do it Zoom. So what's that mean, guys? That means we get to talk to each other face to face. Yay! The last one we didn't really get to do that, but I'm excited about the Zoom one. So let's see. January 23rd. And it'll be something like, I don't know, maybe like 12 p.m. Eastern. I hate to get everybody up so early. So 12 p.m. Eastern to whenever we finish. And it will be recorded. So that means you can go back. There will be written directions. So you'll be able to go back and remake them, rewatch them. You have directions. And if you want to join at a later date. Sound fun? So the class will probably be about $25 and you'll get all that and spend a day with me. How fun. Okay, let's see. That would be so cute. Okay, good. All right, cool. Well, I got some good ones. All right, cool. So I think I'll go ahead and schedule that and I'll get you all the details soon. All right. One more thing, and then we're going to get started. I promise, guys. Because I had some questions a while back about, do I have any type of merchandise? Not really. Anna, yeah, you can do it on any of those two machines. Louise, hey, I haven't seen you. I was thinking about you last night. I'm talking to my phone. I was thinking about you last night, Louisa. How you doing? Okay. I was asked a while back, and I can't remember who asked me, and I'm like, this is a very cool idea. I love this. Do I have a USB that has my logo on it? Would I ever think about selling USBs with my logo on it? So I talked to Jason and we kind of hem-hawed about it and we decided, yeah, that'd be kind of fun. So I will have soon a little bit of merchandise and it's just going to be a USB and then it'll have the Forever BB Louise logo on it. And it's going to be a 2 gigabyte or whatever that's called, 2 whatever, that's safe for your machine. So watch out for that soon. They're going to be really cute. Might be something you want, might not be something you want, but it was a good idea. I really like that. Perfect. Okay. All right. So if Pat, did anyone else lose the video? I don't see. If you lose a video, guys, just log off and log back on. All right, we're about ready to get started. So today we're going to work with the shapes that are built into the IQ Designer or / My Design Center. Again, if you don't have these machines, but you do have embroidery software, you may be able to recreate what I'm doing. This is just something really fun that we can do on our machines. So that means if you have a Baby Lock Altair, Meridian, Destiny, or a Solaris 1 or 2, you can do this. And in the Brother machines, you might have to help me out here. If you have the Brother Dream machines, if you have the Luminaire, if you have the Stellaire, and I believe there's one more, I just don't know the name of it, you'll be able to do this. So here we go. Okay, I'm using a new camera. Y'all bear with me. Let's see. Where's my button? I had this all going and I did good practice today. Aha. Okay, ready? Here we go. Okay. The only thing is I can't really see you guys. All right, I'm gonna be turning maybe get some light over here a little bit. And let's see how that looks. Not great, but I think I can figure it out. All right, so, well, I didn't show you what we were gonna do, did I? Let's go back. Let me pull my screen back up because I need to show you what we're going to do. Okay, you'll get to see the messy room behind me. Okay, now using shapes inside of your machine can be a lot of fun. You can really do a lot of cool things with it. You can just make little projects, you can make cool embroideries, or you can make in the hoop projects. But I just wanted to kind of start basic and show you. So this is what we're going to work on today. So you can see I took a heart, I split it up, I added a bunch of different fills, and I even used an outline on the outside. So I want to start with that. But not only can you do that with shapes, you can turn things into applique. So I want to show that. So I am going to show you how to do this one on the Meridian. So if you have an Altair or the equivalent Brother machine, you can do that on this or your Destiny or the Solaris Lumiere set. You can do it on all of them. So you'll be able to do it on all of them, but I'm going to show you how to do this one on the Meridian. And then I'm going to jump over to the Solaris, which you can still do this if you have an Altair Meridian or the equivalent Brother machine. And I'm going to show you how to make your own applique. Really fun. Love doing that. Let me get you back over to the camera. There we go. All right. Pat, no, I am not using Switcher. What I'm using is I'm doing it all through Zoom. How can you enlarge your screen, Laura? I'm not quite sure what you mean. I'm sorry. Do you mean on your phone? Are you watching on your phone or your iPad? If so, you can turn the phone or iPad and it will make it bigger. All right. Let me pull my chair over and then we're going to get started. All right, so let's talk about shapes. I'm going to bring this one down in front so we can kind of see what we got going on. Okay, now this is completely done in IQ Designer. If you're a Brother owner, My Design Center. And again, if you don't have these machines, it's okay. Maybe you have software, embroidery software, that maybe you can do something very similar. And all I did was take a heart shape, I drew some lines, and then I used the fill features to fill in the different areas. However, I have to give you, or I have to do a, what do you call this? I don't know. I did not come up with this design. I saw it somewhere and I was like, whoever did that was genius. So if you happen to be on my group and you came up with this, girl, you did a great job. It is so much fun. It's so pretty. So I did not come up with this design. I just kind of stole the design, the idea. And I just admitted that out loud. So, okay, here we go. So if I wanted to do something like that, what we're going to do is, let me go home. Okay, I am on the Meridian, but you can do this on any of those other machines that have either IQ Designer or My Design Center in it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go into IQ Designer. And I have now my design area up. And depending on which machine you have, IQ Designer, My Design Center, and the actual machine you have, you're going to see that you have all these little icons and these options. Now they're going to look familiar. They may not be in the same place mine is, but you do have that. You just got to, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And let me turn my phone so we can see that. Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure I can see your comments or your questions as we go. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to decide on a shape that I want to make. And I started with a heart on this one, so let's go use a heart. Inside of IQ Designer, you do have a bunch of shapes that you can use to play with. You can turn them into embroidery, you can turn them into applique, you can really, really do some really cool things with IQ Designer. So in order to start making this guy, what I want to do is, this is your shapes key right here, the circle and square, and I'm going to tap that. And you guys may have seen this before. You may have seen the screen and you see all these fun shapes. You actually have a ton of them. So not only do I have these basic shapes here, if I touch this little flag here, I even have more fun shapes here. And notice that little bunny rabbit right there. When I showed you my door hanger, that's the bunny rabbit shape I have. Christine, probably. I forget to change things. So yeah, it's, yeah. Girl, you you got to know my brain. I don't even know what time it is half the time. Okay, so I've got all these fun shapes here I can play with, and I can turn into embroidery. I can do whatever I want. The next one is, these are going to be open shapes. So I even have some really nice, really pretty, dainty little shapes that I can play with. These are really fun. The bow is cute because you can add cute little things here. You know, so the next one right here, these are saved shapes, and we've done that in some other classes. So I'm not going to click on that. And this right here, these are hoop shapes. So that means I can have like an outline of a hoop in there, and well, let's pull one up. Let's do that. Let's go here first and tell it that I am going to stitch this out in a 9.5 by 9.5 inch hoop and say okay, and then just go out just so you can see. Can you see the red? You can see, let's see here. Let me go here and turn off my background. So you will be able to see a box right here, right? The box is basically a guideline for me. If I were to go and fill this in right now, basically it's only going to let me fill in that 9.5 by 9.5 inch area. But I don't want to do that. I'm just going to take all that off. And I'm going to go back and bring up my grid. I really want to use, this one I don't have to use the grid, excuse me. I'm going to turn the grid off. I don't need my grid for this. However, what I do want to do is I want to pick a shape where I can play with it and turn it into some really cool embroidery here. So I'm going to go back to my shapes, and I'm going to select the heart and select OK. Now there she is right there. There's my heart. Now, at this point, she may not be as big as you want it to be. So with making sure the red box is still around here, what you want to be careful of is when you bring something in, you don't want to tap off, because that red box goes away and it turns off in my ability to change the size and stuff. Now that's okay. We can re-highlight it again, making sure that this icon is on, and draw a box around it, but it's just easier not to worry about it. So I'm going to back it up. There we go. Now, what I want to do is I want to make it larger. So I'm going to come down here to my size key, and I'm going to use my sizing keys to make it larger. And I can make it as big as I want, because this is actually a drawing right now. We have not turned it into embroidery, so I really can make it as large as I want. And I'm going to use this key that has all the arrows going in and out. And let's say I want it, I don't know, pretty big. Let's go, yeah, that's perfect right there. So that's about 7.5 by 8 inches. I'm then going to select OK. And now what I have to do is able to give me these separate little areas. So see all these lines that I've got going in there, the gray lines? I'm just going to go and grab some lines and block off wherever I want. When you are looking at your IQ Designer or My Design Center, you're going to notice that you have a grouping of keys. First, you have right here, you have a group of 4, or you may have 5, depending on your machine, of keys right here. And right below that, you have a grouping of 4, could be 5, depending on which machine you have right here. This top grouping is your line properties. Your bottom grouping is your fill, and that's F-I-L-L properties. I have to pronounce it because I talk funny because I'm from the South. What I want to do is go to my line properties, because I want to draw those lines that are kind of breaking up my heart. And we could call this kind of a crazy quilty looking type of stitching here that we're doing. So the first thing I want to do is go to this little piece of paper. And I am going to select either, I don't want a satin stitch. This automatically defaults to satin stitch. So you could do it in a satin stitch. You can do whatever you want. It's your baby. So I can either choose satin stitch, single running stitch, a triple stitch, or a candle wicking stitch, or this chain stitch. I think the chain stitch looks really cool with this. So I'm going to select that. But up here, if I come right up here to these little keys, these are your line property keys. So this one right here means that you can physically draw something. This one means if I draw something and I lift up my pen or finger, it's going to connect the lines. But this one's just going to be one straight single line, and I really like using this one. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to select a color, and this is going to help me know where I have drawn something or not drawn something. So let's go to OK. And now what I need to do is I want to first turn this line right here into that candle wicking line, or excuse me, that diamond shape line. So I want to select the bucket, and I'm going to tap directly on that line. And you may be able to see, not quite sure on your screen if you can see, but it did turn purple. That means I have turned it into embroidery stitching. Okay, so now what I want to do, since I selected this straight line right here, I'm going to tap that, and now I can start drawing my lines. Now, if you are happy, you can use whatever you want to draw with your machine. You can take and draw your line with your finger. You can use some sort of stylus. You can even use a wired mouse. It is a mouse that is not wireless. So I'm just going to start drawing some lines. And yes, I'm crossing them right now, but that's okay. I'm going to erase. I'm going to do some erasing here. Actually, I'm not liking the way this is going. So let me start over here. I'm going to do it kind of like mine. I like how mine turned out. So I'm going to go across here. And then I came down this way. Well, here, let me start up a little higher. Came down this way. And then I went here. Now you can see everything's crossing, but I'm going to go in and erase a lot of this. Let's see. And then I'm going to start up here and come about right here. Now what I want to do is I want to erase things that are overlapping. Let's see. Let me see. What is the stylus I'm using? Okay, this is a Mixoo, M-I-X-O-O. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. But I got this from Gloria Horn Studio, and you can go on her website, and I'll post that up after this live ends. And you can order them for yourself. They're really great. I love this one. This one's really nice. And what I like about it is it doesn't have a pointy end. It actually has a nice flat end. You don't want to take that off when it comes in because it helps protect your screen. But you can still draw and do everything you want. It's really super cool. Okay, now what I want to do is go in and erase some stuff that I don't need. So I'm going to come to my eraser. And I'm going to select, I like to personally use the square. You can use a circle or square, and I usually grab the medium one. And now all I have to do is zoom in, and I'm just going to come up here and zoom in. And I like to zoom in pretty close and move it around to the areas. And now I can, oops, I've already selected that, come in. And when you're going to erase, I'm going to do this with my left hand. What you want to do is you want to start up high and then bring it down. Now, if you accidentally erase like, you know, everything like that, you can always use your back button. And what it'll do is put everything back for you so you can get started again. And I'm going to, oops, I did it again. That's because I'm using my left hand. All right, I'm trying not to cross in front of you guys, but, or better yet, let's get the mouse. Show you how that works. All right, so now I just have a mouse that I got online. If few bucks. And it is a wired mouse, so I did plug it into my machine. And this way you can really see what I'm doing here. All right, so there we go. And now I'm gonna just kind of erase little, if you look at it really close, they're like little pixels. So I want to go down just like this. And I'm just going to get rid of these little pixels. Now up here, if you have an Altair or Meridian or the Like machine with the Brother, you're going to scan or pan around the screen by using this box up here and using the little red box. Now I can come here and get rid of anything that I don't want. Oops, made a little mistake. Let's go back. And let me address some questions here. Okay, let's go back. So, is it possible to turn the overlight off? I can try that. Let's see. All right, so I turned that light off. And can barely see your screen. Is anyone else having this? I can't see what you're drawing freehand now. Yes, there are the computer screen lines. Yeah, I can't get rid of those little lines that are floating, guys, on the screen. The little, I know because I can see them on my computer screen, they're going boop, 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 boop. That's just something I haven't quite figured out yet, and I'm so sorry. I turned off that light, so hopefully that'll help you. Who was that? Renee, hopefully that'll help you see a little bit better. Okay, now I'm going to come down here and just do the same thing, and I'm going to have to zoom out just a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to, select that. And I'm just going to come in and erase anything that I don't want on the outside. And then I'm going to go on the inside. Oops. It's clear with you too. Okay. Yeah. Renee, I don't know. Maybe you can back out and come back in. Let me know if that works. If you do that, I'd be interested to know if that would work. Okay. So now let's see, I've only got one more down here. Sorry, it's taken me a little bit of time. I'm trying to answer questions and do all this at the same time. So I'm going to just jump on this real quick. Okay, so I've got those erased, but then I want to come in here. I've got too many lines happening up in here. So let me zoom out and show you what I mean. So I want to get rid of some of this stuff here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to zoom in and go and use my eraser. Now I want to get rid of this little guy right here because it will stitch out. Try to get this done quickly for you guys. There we go. I want to come over here. I don't know if you can see at the top of my screen, I'm moving around. There we go. Get rid of some of these. Oh, good, Glenda. Good, good, good. So just a little refreshment needed to happen. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to move it over just a little bit. And this part's the no fun part to watch. I know, it just, you know, but it's the part you have to do. It's just the part we got to do. But you may be a way better drawer than I am. You may be able to stop directly on those lines, and I just get in a hurry. There we go. Ooh, I think I got it. All right, so let's zoom out and take a look at her. Yes, that's what I wanted. So now what you can see is I now have all my sections here. And since I told it earlier, I'm going to go back into the line properties and show you. Remember, I have this chain stitch selected. You're not going to be able to see it until you go over to embroidery, but I have changed all these lines to that chain stitch just by basically tapping on them when I'm using the bucket. Now what I want to do is I want to fill in each of these areas with something fun and pretty. So you see that right there? Oh, love it. So what we're going to do now is, remember we talked about the line properties just a moment ago. Now what I want to do is talk about the fill properties right here. So this little icon, grouping of icons is really fun because you can really do whatever you want with fills. So let's go play with those. Let's go take a look. I'm going to come to this little piece of paper. And then it brings me to what it's called. They call it the region property screen here, but I call it the fill properties. It just makes more sense in my brain. And I can do one of a few things. I can do a full embroidery fill. So basically that means it'll fill up one spot with complete embroidery stitches. I can do a stipple. So if I selected stipple and I'm going to select this blue color so we can see it and select OK, what I want to make sure I do next is turn on my bucket and I'm going to tap in an area. So it'll fill in that area. Now, mind you, this isn't what it's going to look like until you get it over to embroidery to check it out. This is just giving you a visual. So let's say I was happy with that, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more areas to fill in. So let's go grab some fun stuff. I'm going to go back into the fill properties. There we go. And now instead of going to the stipple, I'm going to come to this little guy right here with the bubbles. I'm going to attack it or tap on it. I'm going to attack it and tap it. Next, what I'm going to do is hit the word select because you saw this little box popped up. And now I have all these fun designs to play with. So I'm going to grab some bubbles. I'm going to select OK. And I'm going to select a separate color. So let's do a pink. And now OK. And making sure that my bucket is on, I'm going to tap in a different area. Now I have 3 more places to go. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to select. And let's do some roses here. I like these little roses. I'm going to push OK. I'm going to grab a different color. And the reason why I'm grabbing different colors is because I want them to stitch out all as different colors. You can have them stitch out all as the same color if you want. So I'm going to make sure that my bucket is selected and I'm going to tap here. I've got 2 more places. I'm now going to go into here, select, and what do I do? Ooh, this basket weave is really cool. That one's actually really beautiful when it stitches out. So the basket weave. I'm going to select another color. I'll do the start purple. OK. Making sure my bucket is still selected. I will now tap in here and I've got 1 more. I'm going to go to my fill properties. Go back to it one more time and now I'm going to choose my last one. So let's go down here. How about these little fish? They look like fish. I think they're fish. They look like fish. They're cute as a button. Let's select OK. And one last color, we'll do orange, select OK. Make sure my bucket is selected, and now I'm going to tap inside of there. Now this looks like a whole bunch of horrendousness right now, but wait till we get it to the embroidery part. Let's now say we were completely happy with this. Now all I would have to do is select next. If you're in a Solaris or the Like Brother machine, yours is going to look a little different when we go to the next page, but when I show how to do the applique on that one, you'll see. So let's select next. And right now it's not really doing much of anything, but what it's doing is it's telling me, hey, Anna, do you want to change the size of any of these stitches? Meaning like how big these circles are going to be or how small you want them. And I can play around with that. So if you're in an Altair Meridian or a Like machine, what you're going to do is you're going to see some icons down here at the bottom. If you're in the Solaris or the Like Brother machine, your icons are going to be here, but they are the same. So just remember that. So for these circles, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them down to about 50%. And this is where you just get to play. Now, if I want to go to the next color, I just select to the next here, that one. I don't know, I'm just going to pick a bunch of numbers, guys, and then just kind of make sure you hit set. And then just play, and let's see what it looks like. I mean, it can be all kind of random. Oops, I want that to be smaller because I know this is going to be small. So set. Now, when you come to the stippling, what you're going to see is it's going to look different. It's not going to have a percentage, but what it's going to have is this little middle one right here. And what this is the spacing in between the stippling, which basically can make it smaller or bigger. So I'm going to make that smaller. Now, if you go too small, it is teensy weensy tiny. So I'm just going to move it down to about that. And then I think I have the fish next. Oh, I keep wanting to go down. Let's make them fish kind of tiny. And did I get it all? Yes. I can even change the sizing of the stitching too if I wanted to. But I'm just going to say I'm happy with that, and I'm going to select preview. And this is going to be the moment of truth. This is what it's going to look like. So let's select OK. And it's going to say, hey, Anna, what do you think of that? And I'm like, well, I think that's pretty stinking cute, actually. I like it. I like the size of everything. Everything's small enough. I love the fish. The fish are adorable. And now all I have to do is I can go here into memory if I wanted to save this, save it to my machine so I can stitch it out again and again. Now, notice that I don't have anything around this. So when we were in the IQ Designer, I could have went ahead and built a background for this. At this part, if I hit set and I decide I want to do something different, like add that border or change the size of this or change the color or add a different fill, if I hit set, I cannot do that. But if I see return right down here, then it'll let me go back and let me go back. So let's build a so I've got echo here. This echo is only done on the SLARS, but we're going to do something a little bit different. Let me get this. Wanda says, when I touch on the inside of the heart, it fills into the outside too. So what that means, Wanda, is that your lines are not connected. So let me draw a shape real quick and I'll show you what I mean. So what can happen is this, and I'm just going to draw a shape and show you. Down here, ready? Exactly, Gail, there is a hole someplace. So if I draw a shape or if I have a shape and it is not connected, and I'm going to get it as close as possible, and I'm going to zoom in down there to that. So this is the ugliest shape I've ever drawn in my life. But if for some reason, you see how this area right here is not connected, see how there's a little opening right there? If I go to add a fill and I tap on inside of that, you see how it fills up everything? That means that it is not connected here. And how do you fix that? Well, what you want to do is you want to make sure your pencil is on, okay? You want to zoom in really close as you can, and get right to that little area. So see, there's my hole. And all I'm going to do is, this is where a mouse is amazing. All you're going to do is just take and you're going to just click these little pixels into place. And see, now I have it connected. So let's zoom out. So when I go to add a fill, it's just in there. So it's almost like you have to kind of go around it, zoom in really close and go around it. That has happened to me several times. It is so annoying. But you know, sometimes we just got to work it. So I'm just going to erase this right here. Don't need it. Okay, but that was a great, actually, I'm glad things like that happen when we're working together, because I can show everybody how to fix that. So I love happy mistakes. Just love that. And I love when I make mistakes so I can show y'all how to fix them. Okay, So let's talk about how to add some quilting or something, or just some fill around it. Now, again, this fill right here is not in the Altair, the Meridian, but we can do things that are similar. So, excuse me, what you can do, Cindy, yeah, you can get, as long as you didn't, okay, so yeah, let's do that real quick. So Cindy says, okay, all right, let me just jump back before I jump on to putting the background fill on. Sorry, guys. Cindy says, can I go back and change the stitch of the heart shape? Yes. So if I go here and I go to preview and I say, okay, and this is important. This is really important. And I'm finding out that I don't like the chain that's going around, right? If I hit set at this point, I cannot go back and change it. You have to be really, really careful about that. You want to hit return, return, and let's change this to a candle wicking stitch instead of that chain stitch, okay? All I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. Cindy, it's okay. It's kind of the same thing, okay? It's really just kind of the same thing. Okay, I am going to go to my line properties. I'm going to select what stitch I want. So let's say I wanted it to be the candle wicking. And just so you know it happened, it actually changed, let's pick another color than that purple. So I'm going to pick that pink and I'm going to select OK. Now this is important. Now I can see my outlines, just the lines. I want to make sure I select my bucket and I'm going to tap on those lines. And I'm not sure if you can really tell, but they turned pink for me. So that means I have changed that stitch line to a different line. Now, if I go to next, and you'll be able to, since you have a Solaris, you'll be able to see yours real time, but I need to go back, or in the, I don't need to go back, excuse me. What I need to do is hit preview for us on the Meridian and watch what happens. Ta-da! That's even way cuter. I love that. But now what I'm going to do is return, because what if I wanted to add a frame around it with some fill stitches? Well, remember earlier when I was first showing you where to go for the shapes right here. We got our heart shape right here in this circle and square. I clicked on it and then I said, here's this one, this one, this one, this one, but here's some frame shapes. So let me click on that. And I'm going to do this in a 9.5 by 9.5 inch hoop. Or you could say, I really only want to, I'm going to cut this down to about 8.5 by 8.5 inches. I don't want to waste thread. So let me put an 8 by 8 inch box around it. Really, I'm going to use the 9.5 by 9.5 and now push OK. And we can see that around here. So what happens is now when I put a fill in here, it's not going to go out here and I'm not going to waste thread. I'm going to go to my fill properties down here. I'm going to select and I'm just going to find a fill. I'll do this. I love cross hatching. So let's go to cross hatching. Okay, let's select a color. We'll do this lime green. And I'm going to select OK. Select the bucket and tap outside the heart. And now I have this gorgeous green background. It's not gorgeous, but let's go to next and let's just take a look. Next, next, okay. And this is what it's going to stitch out like. So cute. I love it. Rose, that's no problem. Welcome. You can always go back and rewatch these. So guys, you could actually make smaller versions of this and make them like trivets or, you know, hot pads or something like that. This is a really cool little fun little thing to play with. And even if you've never stitched them out, you're going through the motions. That's how I've learned everything. Is I don't stitch out half of what I I designed because I'm just learning. You push all the buttons, push, push, push buttons, push your buttons, push your husband's buttons, push your kids' buttons, and then you get to push the buttons on your machine. So, you know, it's really fun. So when you're done with that, you've got something stinking adorable if you stitch it out. Look how cute that is. Oh my God. I love that. And I honestly, guys, I didn't have any plans for this. So what I did was I fused it to some fusible fleece, basically a really soft batting, and stitched it out with a no-show mesh and just cut it out and pinked the edges because I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's a great little sample. So can you add heart shapes, enlarge them? Oh, Jeanette, let's try that. Because I didn't go all the way through, but yeah, I don't see why not. Now, the only thing about that, you really have to sit there and play with that. And I'll tell you why here in a second. Let's see if it'll let me. I might have to erase all that. Well, let's do this. I'm just going to save this just in case. It is always good to save your work. So I'm just going to save this really quickly. And let's just do that. Let's try that. That would make, yes, Nancy, that would be a really cute pillow. Okay. So let's start over. Let's just start and we'll go grab that heart. And let me show you what happens with that. So there's the heart. I'm going to copy it. And how you copy the design is right down here. You've got this button that has two squares and one of them is a dashed line. And I'm going to copy that. And then what I want to do is center it on top and then use the enlarge button to enlarge it. Now, notice what happens here. I mean, which it would be really cute to echo. It would be really cute to echo. But you can see here, you got a little bit of thinness here, and then it widens out here. You may have to come in here with these other keys, and if you want it to be absolutely perfect and squish things in, but it can be done to create an echo effect. It's just going to take you a little bit of work, but you know, if you want to do it, absolutely. This would even be cool because you could go, oh, here, let me show you something since I'm in here. Let's copy that heart and let's go here and center it. And then let's make it smaller. And let's set that one inside of there. And now let's watch this. Let's have fun with this. So let's do this. I get so excited. Okay. I am first going to come up here. So this is playing with shapes again. So this follows along with this guy here. Let me grab something and show you. What I'm about to show you was designed by Denise Schober, and she did it all in IQ Designer, and it is so beautiful. And you can go on, she did it a while back, but you could go on her page and find this. But basically, she just took these arcs, and these are just using shapes, and she turned them into a rainbow. She even took this little heart and turned it into something. Now these two she scanned in from the internet or basically from clip art and with the hands, and it's so pretty and I loved this. And so this is kind of what I'm going to show you here, what you can do. Okay, so with the hearts, say I do have that. Sample stitch outs can be turned into, oh really, that's a good idea, Glenda. Glenda, that's a great idea. I love that. I have a niece that's going to school to be a NICU something or another. She likes babies. And then I have another one who's having a baby, so babies. Okay, so let's say I wanted to do something like that rainbow. I've got my 3 shapes that I just used one shape to copy and enlarge or copy and shrink down. And now what I can do is go up here to my line properties. I can grab whatever line design I want. Let's do candle wicking. Select a color, go to OK, select the bucket, tap in here. I can go grab another, using the same candle wicking, I can grab another color, tap OK, making sure my bucket's on here, tap directly on that line. There we go, it turned purple. And now I'm going to go grab, well, I don't know what, a green. Let me just do this. This is making sure my bucket's on. I'll tap the green. And now if I hit next, so you can see now I have, oh, I accidentally tapped, well, okay, but you get what I'm saying there. So yeah, you can really play with it any way you want to. So super cute. Love it. Okay, so any questions on just doing basic fun shapes like this? Fun things like this? If not, we are actually going to move over to the Solaris, and that way, and again, you can do either of these types of, excuse me, I lost my wording. You can do any of this on either the Meridian or Altair or the Solaris or the Brother-like machines that have either IQ Designer, My Design Center, or if you happen to have software, you could probably recreate a lot of this. What I'm going to do now is move you over to the Solaris. See if I can get a little light here, a little bit more light. There we go. And if you get dizzy, give me just a second and I'll have you right where you're supposed to be. Thanks, Ronnie. Ronnie, I have to tell you that my flower is still alive, and that's doing really good for me. It is beautiful. Okay. Now what we're going to do is, again, you'll be able to do this technique or that last technique on either one of these. Yes, I think my clock is still off. I apologize, guys. Okay. Now this is something else you can do with shapes that's really cool. You can create your own applique, which is really fun. It is a few steps, but it is really fun. Jackie, yes. Okay, Jackie's asking, Anna, I'm having a hard time keeping up. Will I be able to watch this game? Yes, I mean, I do go kind of fast through these, Jackie, but they are always available. After it's done, it'll upload and you can rewatch it anytime. Absolutely. Okay. Let's get you guys, I need to get that a little more even here. There we go. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about applique. Let's say you just want to make you like a little applique patch, or just you want to design it on your own. You know, you just want to have fun. You're just doing whatever you want. You have these amazing machines. Why not do some really cool stuff with them? So here we go. And it is really pretty easy. Now the 3 steps of applique, let's talk about that. And I can actually use this guy here because it's kind of makes a little bit more sense when we look at him because I'm doing raw edge. Okay, so what you have in applique is 3 steps. The first thing you're going to have is a placement line. And after placement line is because, or after the placement line, what I do is I take a big old hunk of piece of fabric and lay it on top. And then there is a tack down line. And then I trim. Now this is a raw edge applique. Okay, so what I'm going to do on a raw edge is trim about 1/8 of an inch away. But if I were going to have a regular applique that has the satin stitch, I would trim close to the line. And then what I would do is finish up with the satin stitch. Okay, and let me go back to Renee real quick. She has a question. Renee, earlier you mentioned that it would be helpful when drawing to use a mouse. I tried one for my computer, but it wasn't compatible. Do you know, or do you, oh, well, okay. You know what, Renee? I had an older one too, or not an older one. I had a mouse that happened to be older, and I tried to plug it in and it wouldn't work. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe this doesn't work for my machine. But then I was like, well, let me order a brand new one. And literally it was like $7 or $8 on the big A. And I ordered it and it works perfect. So it could just be the mouse itself. Christine, no worries, girly. Okay. Gail, have a good one. Thanks for coming in. Okay, so let's go back over here. Okay. So you've got your 3 steps of applique. So we've got our placement stitch, our tack down stitch, then we have our final stitch, which could be either a running stitch, it could be a blanket stitch, it could be a satin stitch, it could even be a candle wicking stitch. So let's go through that. Let's go to IQ Designer. Looks like I'm gonna have to use my fingers because I moved everything. And I'm going to go pick a shape. I'll do kind of the same of what I have here. I'll pick this little flower. And I'm going to select OK. And I'm going to turn off the background just so you can see really well what's happening here. And let me get up a little closer. I think that's gonna, yeah, there we go. There we go. I just want to make sure y'all are you can see everything. Okay. Now you can see my outline of my flower right there. And I want to turn this into an applique. The first thing I want to do is I want to go up. Remember we were talking about our property boxes here. So my first grouping of properties are my line properties. The second grouping right here, those are my fill properties. We're not going to play with fill properties right now. We're going to go into line properties. And I'm going to select just a basic running stitch. So this guy right here. And I'm going to select a color. I'm going to do this blue, so maybe we'll be able to see it on screen. And I'm going to make sure that my bucket is turned on, and I'm going to tap directly on that line. Now, at this point, this is very important. You want to save this inside of IQ Designer because you want to be able to come back to it. So what I'm going to do is come down to memory right here. I'm going to select memory, and I am going to grab, or excuse me, not grab, I'm going to save it. And you can save it anywhere you want. You can save it to your machine or to a USB stick. I'm just going to save it to the machine, and I'm going to select next. No matter what machine you're in right now, you're going to hit next, preview, or set, and OK. That is going to be my placement line. Now what I'm going to do is, this is the easiest and quickest way to do it. You're going to go to Edit. You are going to select the duplicate key. Now right now we're in embroidery functions. So I want to select the duplicate key, and it's going to give me a second one right here. And what I'm going to do is go to Move, and I'm going to tap this little center dot, and it's going to put it right on top. So that would be my tack down line. So I've got my number 1 line, I've got my placement line. After my placement line's done, I'm going to lay my piece of fabric over that. It's going to then go to number 2 color, which is my tack down line, or let's do this 2. And after the tack down line's done, I go and I trim the fabric away from the outside. And now I need to add either my satin stitch or whatever stitch I want on the outside. So I'm going to go to Add. And inside of your machine, you're either going to see IQ Designer or My Design Center, whichever machine you're using. I'm going to select that. And now I need to recall that shape. Remember, it's the perfect size. It's everything that I need. So I am going to come to you'll find a little button that has a pocket with an arrow going out. So let's select that. And there she is right there. I'm going to grab her and select OK. Now I'm going to change that line to a satin stitch. So I'm going to go back up to my line properties. And Judy, I'll show you that here in a moment. I'm going to make sure the satin stitch is selected. So it is. And I'm just going to use a different color because I can. Let's use orange. And I'm going to say, OK. I'm going to select the bucket. And I'm going to tap on that line. And you can see it turned orange. That means it worked. And I'm going to go to next. And now it's a satin stitch. Now, if I'm going to do an applique, guys, this is what I like to do. I like to make the satin stitch wider. So I can do that inside of IQ Designer when I'm on the line edit screen. And, oh, you did? Okay, good, Judy. So I'm going to go to this button right here. And it basically is a zigzag with an arrow going up and down. So I'm going to tap on that, and I'm just going to make it wider till it will stop, or till it stops. It's kind of a chunky one, but it'll encapsulate all the fabric and any little pokies that are there, or anything like that. You can change the density if you want. I'm generally pretty happy with the way it comes out, so I'm good. I'm going to hit set. Okay. And it's sitting right on top of my placement line and my tack down line. And now I have an applique. So cool. Now, what if I wanted to add a second little applique inside of it? Well, that's easy. So I'm going to leave this as is right here. And I'm going to go to add. And it's important that you don't go home. You want to go to add. I'm going to go back to IQ Designer. And remember that shape that we saved. We're going to use that same shape, just make it smaller. So I'm going to come up here, back up here to the pocket with the arrow coming out. I'm going to grab it. And let me show you something cool that you can do. Okay, so I've got this shape right here, right? Okay, this is the exact size it is over in the embroidery side waiting for us. But if I wanted to make my design smaller, but I want to make sure it looks good with inside of this one, this might be a little confusing, but okay, so if I wanted to leave this one on screen and duplicate it and make one smaller and fit it in there and then get rid of this line, how would I do that? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I don't know if I made any sense, but here, this is what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to come here and duplicate this flower. So you can see it pops off to the side a little bit. I'm going to select size. And what I'm going to do is select the center button. It's going to center it on top of that first one. I'm going to bring it down until I get it to where I want. And I'm only using the other one. And I don't know if you can see that very well. Let's get in close. There we go. I'm only using this one right here as a visual. So if I were happy with that, I'm going to push OK and I'm going to tap off. Okay. So now you can see both of them are there, but this one's already on the other side as an embroidery. If I brought that over, it's going to embroider on top. We don't need that one. So what can I do? I was just using it as a guide. What you can do is come up here to your line properties. And you can select this little guy right here. This is your no sew line. I'm going to tap that, say OK, tap my bucket and tap that line. And what it's going to do is it's just going to give me the look of it being there, but it won't stitch out, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I explained that very well, but it is really cool. But the other thing I want to do is take this little line right here this little guy, and I am going to turn it into a running stitch. We'll select pink, make sure my bucket's on and tap it. And I'm going to save this to memory, just so it's there. I'm going to hit next and watch what happens. You won't see that big outline. You'll only see the little outline because I turned it into a no-sew line. I'm going to hit set, okay, and there it is inside of my first applique. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this little one here by going into Edit, Duplicate. There it is right there. And Judy, this is where, I know you figured it out, but when you want to center something, you go into Move and you want the little dot, and it's going to sit it right on top. Now we're going to go to Add because we want to add your third stitch on there, right? So let's go to Add, IQ Designer. Let's pull up the little one right here. And you'll notice they're both still there. So what I want to do is make sure that this one right here will not sew out again. So it's okay to do a little bit of double work because you want it to come out the way you want it to. So I'm going to go back here, make sure my no sew line is on, and I'm going to touch the bucket and make sure I tap that line. Now we're going to turn this line into our third stitch because we've created our placement, our tack down. Now we need a third stitch. And let's see, maybe I want that one, because in the Solaris you have a couple more choices. Maybe I want that one to be these little leaves. No, I don't think I want that actually. What if I want that one as a blanket stitch? So cute, because in regular sewing we do blanket stitches all the time. I'm going to select maybe this green color and say okay, and making sure my bucket is on. I'm going to tap her. And let's take a look at what that'll look like next. Oh, so cute. Okay, but what I want to do is make these a little bit longer. My actual blanket bites. I don't know what they're called. So I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to make them a little bit longer and see if I like that better. Here, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Those are pretty cute. Okay, I'm happy with that. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to hit set. Okay, and now what you'll see is I have created 2 appliques within one, or for one sitting, basically. So I've got my outer applique and I've got my inner applique. So let's take a look at the colors right here. So let's have this on screen. Okay, so first I have this is the big flower out here. So first I have my placement stitch. After my placement stitch, I'm going to lay a big old honking piece of fabric down, let it tack down. After my tack down, I'm going to trim away from the outside, or trim around the outside, getting all the excess away. Then I'll let the satin stitch happen. Then what I'll do, or it's not what I'll do, but next what will happen is it's going to go to the little baby one. So it's going to have her placement stitch. We'll lay a piece of fabric down. It'll have her tack down stitch. Then we'll trim really close to the edge on the outside. And then it'll have a little blanket stitch. How cute is that? I love what I do. I get to play with stuff all day. So what you think about that? I'm going to get y'all back over here. I'm going to turn the camera back on me if I can figure out how to do it. Oh, I remember now. There I am. Hey. Okay. So what you think about that? You know, there is a lot of things you can do with shapes, and that what I showed you tonight is nothing compared to the million things that you can do with shapes. And I was going to look through here, or through my basket, and see really quickly if I had anything else that I did shapes with, but I forgot to pull everything out. I'm just looking to see if there's something quickly I can pull out for you. Well, that would take me a few minutes. But I mean, how fun. And this is a great way to, this would be a good little sampler for you to make to learn how to press all those buttons. So it's just something super quick, super easy, but you're pushing a lot of buttons and you're learning. You're not going to break your machine. I promise you that. That's how we learn. We learn by doing like this. That's how I've learned. That's how my mentors have learned. You know, and the same thing with applique. That's how I came up with this. I just started playing with stuff. I love it. So if you want to, let me see if there's any questions for. Yeah, Sherry, the Destiny does not have the blanket stitch. The Destiny or the Altair Meridian do not have the blanket stitches. I wish they did. But it is really cool, you know, but they have that chain stitch, which is really pretty, and in the candle wicking. Okay, so just keep your eye open for the door hanger. This is, like I said, you can do it in, I'll come up with one that's not just a rabbit. I just picked him. Now, that's the thing for shapes. Now, you saw how I was pulling everything up. I used all shapes in here. So not only did I use this, what I call a rectoval shape, this kind of rounded edges rectangle, I used the shape that was a circle. I used a shape that was the bunny, was actually the bunny. Let's see if I can show you the inside. I didn't do that color very dark, but the inside of his ears here, that was a shape that's in there. His eyes were all shapes. His nose was a shape. And even this right here, this was an open shape that I erased a lot of it to make his little whiskers. So there's so much to do with making your own. And this was all made in the hoop. And I used something called Deco Magic to keep it really stiff. And we'll talk about that in the class. So yeah, so I'll get all this information up for y'all in the next week, and then we can get signups and we'll go from there. So, okay, so let's do any questions. Do we have any question? Can you show how to do applique from letters? Nancy? Yes, Nancy, if you're still on here, I can do that real quick. That's a good one. Is there a way we can copy parts? For example, Anna, not really. Okay, so I get what you're asking, Anna. Not really. What you can do is enlarge it enough. And you also have tools in there where you can kind of turn it and kind of get it close, but you can't really like, wait a second. Let me think about that. Priscilla, I think it does. Anna, let me think about that. Copy and only use a portion. My brain's working. There may be, you know what you may be able to do. Okay, so let's do, so Nancy and Anna, if you want to hang out for a moment, I can show you a couple things. Let me flip this back over. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, it doesn't matter which machine as long as you have IQ Designer or My Design Center. Okay, Nancy, I'm going to do yours first, and Anna, I'll do your second. Okay, so Nancy, yeah, Mickey, that's what I was just about to, yep, that's what I was just about to do, you two. Mickey and Sandy got me there. They got there before I did. Okay. If you wanted to make applique out of, no, Anna, I'll do it still. If you wanted to make applique out of letters, what you're going to do is you want to go into embroidery. You want to go to the right here, and you're going to pick a font. So here we go. And let's just say we're going to do E. And I'm going to set that. Now what I want to do is go to edit and size that up as big as you want it. Now, the only thing is on certain letters, they're only going to go so big. But if you go, okay, let me start over a little bit, Nancy. Let me go back because I'm jumping around. Let's go to embroidery. That's right. Let's see. NE set. I'm just going to go back here. Yeah, it's not going to let me. Okay. All right. We may have to use the bigger letters because that's how I generally do it, Nancy, is I use the bigger letters, but you can use the smaller ones. Okay, so these are the bigger letters here. And let's say I wanted to do one of these. I want to do the letter C. And you hit set. And so that way I can make it as big as I want. All you would have to do is go to edit. And then you're going to use your little flower down here. And what it's going to do is create an outline. And so you can see it just right around here. And I'm going to select memory and OK. Now, when I go to, I'm going to leave out of there and I'm going to go to IQ Designer. And that outline will be inside of IQ Designer. It's going to be inside of that shapes icon that we worked with earlier. And I'm going to look for that little flower that's the same as the screen that I saved it on. And there's my C. I'm going to select OK. And all you're going to notice now is just the outline. If I untap it, you can just see the outline. And then you would go through those same features, or excuse me, same functions. So what we want to do is first go here to our line properties. We're going to select the running stitch or just single line. I'm going to make sure my bucket's turned on. I'm going to tap it. That's going to turn it into a running stitch. I'm going to select next, set, OK. Or yours, I'm not sure which machine you have. Yours might be preview, set, OK. Then we're going to go to edit, duplicate, and then we're going to go to move and center it on top. So now they're centered on top. But what I did, oh, okay. I didn't save it over there. I forgot to. But since I saved it in the outlines, it'll still be there. I didn't change the size or anything. So let's go to add, IQ Designer. We're going to go back to that circle and square, and we'll go back to our little flower. Here he is. Select OK. And now let's turn that into a satin stitch on the outside. I'm just going to select the line properties, making sure that the satin stitch is selected. Let's pick a bright color. Select OK. Make sure I have my bucket on, and I'm going to tap it and go next. And again, when I do embroidery with satin stitches, I want to make that satin stitch pretty wide, pretty much till it stops. That way it can encapsulate the fabric and everything. And then I'm going to hit set, OK. And there we go. Now we've got our placement line. We've got our tack down line. After our tack down, we'll trim the fabric really close to the outside edge. And then we'll have our satin stitch. So it's pretty close to the same, but there's just a couple extra steps you have to do. You can scan, in different designs and all that, but that's a whole nother class. Okay, what scissors do I recommend for trimming? I just like regular applique. I like the R&K duckbill. They have a really pointy end. I love those. Can you do ungroove? Let me go back. Okay, Anna, do you take the hoop off to trim? Yes, Dory, I do. I always do. Let's see. Oh, sure. Okay, Anna. So, Anna, to answer your question, there is some things you can do. Yeah, we can play with that. So let's do let's go to IQ Designer. And let's just take a look at, let's take a look at our fills real quick. And let's say you just wanted one of the motifs in here. Let's say, I'm just going to pick one. And I really just wanted this little flower in here. So I'm going to grab a shape. And I'm just going to grab the circle. I'm just going to grab the circle, and I've selected my fill. I'm going to tap the bucket here, and I'm going to tap right there. Now what I can do is I can come in with my eraser, and you're just going to have to zoom in pretty good. Well, see, that's the only thing is it does is it multiplies everything. And you're just going to come in and erase everything you don't want. And then you can save it. Let me get this bigger. Let's make that really big. I want a square. I mean, I think you can get it to work. You're just going to have to kind of fine tune it. Yes, Dory, my last week's video, or not last week, the video before last week, that's exactly what we did. You can always go back and watch. I think it says something like holiday surprise project or something like that. So yes, you can do that, and that shows you how to do all that process. Okay. Let me zoom out, make sure I've got everything. Oops, zoom out one. I didn't even start it. Okay. So I thought I was getting everything, but I guess I'm not. Okay. Ooh, that's weird. Oh, okay. I see what it's doing. Okay, so let's say we got rid of all this. Okay, and we were happy with that. And that's, so now what you have to do is you would want to kind of zoom in a little bit. Let's see if we can zoom in. And now you can see, but you see how I missed a lot, maybe not like a full flower or something. So it's really something you have to really go in there and play with. But I think it can be done, Anna. It's just going to take you a little bit of practice and time to really get in there. And then you can save this. The cool thing is you can save it to memory and then reuse it and reuse it. So you can, plop it around wherever you want. So I hope that helps. But basically it's going to be a lot of erasing to do that, but it can be done. Anything can be done. We can make anything work. Okay, well, let me check I got a mad face. I'm sorry, mad face. Let's see. Let me see if I've missed any questions. Does Palette have the blanket stitch? Priscilla, I believe it does. I just got it and I really haven't used it yet, but I'm going to be working on that. It's coming up soon. Is there a way we can copy parts? Oh, that was you, Anna. Oh, you're welcome. Let's see. I'm not sure if let's see. Great. Thank you. I'm just making sure I'm getting all your questions. Answering Anna, can you do ungroup? Oh, I don't remember what we were talking about. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, all right. For anyone who's still left on here, we got quite a few still left on here. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by today. And I hope you've learned a little bit of something. Yeah, and don't forget, if you haven't entered into the giveaway, make sure you do that. We will talk next week about the other giveaway. I want to get through this first giveaway first, and then we're going to do another one. I know, like, it's crazy. It's awesome. It's fun. And then I'll have some information about the little class. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I really appreciate you guys. And all to all my new members, thank you so much for joining. To all my members who's been with me since forever, I really appreciate you guys too. You guys have kept me alive, and hope you all have a great week. So thank you, and I will see you Gosh, what a Wednesday. I'll see you Wednesday. And remember, shop local, shop small, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Let's see if I can figure out how to turn it off this time. There we go. Bye.